It's WICR. This is the all-new WICR. We're now on Live 365 and Ustream.com. Just search WICR and like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/WICR Iona College Radio.
Hello and welcome to Mad Fridays. I'm Abby Rapillo.
I'm Megan.
I'm Dana.
And how are you guys today?
I'm tired, but I'm alright.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's Friday.
Same.
It's been a crazy week trying to get everything back ready from break.
Yeah, true. You're right.
Very true.
Did you guys do anything interesting over break?
You know what I did.
She went to London
I did
like
go
a boss.
to London. I did.
Exactly.
It was a good time.
What did you do in London? I'm going to interrogate you.
I did a lot of touristy things. And the locals definitely hated us. We're like, look at Big Ben. Look, you saw that yesterday. I'm like, but look at it. It's so fun. Look at it. It's so pretty.
Let's take it back to America.
Facts.
I'm sorry, we are not the British.
It's actually not as tall as we thought it was. Like I thought it was.
Oh, really?
I mean, because we saw it at first from a boat, but it didn't look that big.
Oh, okay.
At all.
Dana, did you just sleep?
Yeah.
Mm.
I play with my dog.
Wyatt.
Well,
that's adorable.
He is 7 pounds of love. Everyone should have a dog, especially rescues.
You are 100% correct, mother.
True.
Yep.
I went to California for 48 hours. That was fun.
Yeah.
NCAA tournament, guys. We lost.
You took a private jet?
We took a chartered jet. There's a difference. It was basically a commercial jet, but smaller, louder, and with less comfy seats. So it was not a private jet. I was like, ooh, is Mr. Hines or Mr. LaPenta giving us their private jet? Are we going to get really, really fancy seats? And they were like, no, even Naira doesn't get fancy seats. And I was like, wow. Oh my God, those poor children.
Poor children.
Yeah, they had to sit with the plebs, a.k.a. everyone. Oh my God, we were so loud and obnoxious. It was great.
A good effort by Iona's basketball team.
They did their best.
Good effort.
They gave it their best in the first half.
Well, I gotta say, I just gotta say that the effort before the game, at least leading up to it, has been shown in their games, and I think they're a good team.
Yeah, well, they...
Anyways.
I was trying to be supportive of my school.
Yeah, I'll be supportive
Not now.
if they start playing defense. Anyways, we are not a sports show. I'm going to leave that to the sports shows to discuss, even though they'll probably all just be like, oh, it was great.
Okay, moving on.
Anyways. All right, so getting into the news, which I'm also a little bitter about. Funny, I give up being bitter for Lent. No, that worked out great. So, as you all probably know, there was a kind of interesting thing that happened in London the other day. Interesting as in,
Interesting. Interesting is the word to use.
There was a bit of a terror attack. Okay.
One hole.
Wow, we've been doing this for 3 minutes and it's already a train wreck.
Yep.
I'm not a train wreck.
Today's a bit of a train wreck day.
Anyways,
so a suspect's been named in the London terror attack on Wednesday. On Thursday, officials named the man who stabbed and killed an officer near the Parliament building as Khalid Massoud, a 50-year-old British national. 3 people were killed and were hit by the attacker's car near the Parliament building. After that, the car crashed into the fence near the Parliament building, and the entire building went into lockdown, and everybody couldn't leave. And I actually went on, something interesting that I learned is that on most British media sources, they just post tweets online, and the Guardian and BBC, they're just posting people's tweets and then putting in little commentary, which is super interesting.
They took one after Donald Trump.
no, they do.
No, they took other people's tweets.
Oh.
Yeah, they do it more as
So it's not like their government just tweets hey, stay inside.
No. They mean if someone says, oh, I was just near the Parliament building and this, that, and the third happened, they're using it more as first-hand accounts.
Yeah.
Rather than sending someone into the madness.
Yeah. And, it was super interesting because it was just very different from what we usually see in, American media. If you look on, the Washington Post and New York Times, from a news perspective, it was interesting and also a way to, distract myself from the horror that was going on. So, the other day, ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack. Yeah, but the guy was a British national, which was which is an example of homegrown terrorism, which is something that we've been experiencing a lot in the U.S. as well, and something that. And it's interesting because in the wake of that, right before that attack, Britain and the U.S. had banned the transport of any electronics larger than a smartphone to their countries from specific airports in the Middle East. So, yeah. because of terror attacks. So that's interesting little thing. So
Also, just going through customs between like even America and Britain, like there are certain phones like they banned the phone that explodes sometimes.
yeah,
They're doing a lot, and I left right before there was something that happened in a Paris airport. I left like right after that.
Yeah.
So they like customs gets crazy, particularly around times like this.
yeah.
I don't blame them.
No, definitely not.
No, like you gotta there's with all the craziness happening in the world, you gotta be careful. But one of the things that I realized was that like people started like questioning why Trump was banning from those specific countries, and I feel like that's kind of a outshoot of his travel ban, because like it's a perfectly valid thing to ban, but people are questioning it because of other policies that he's made,
Yeah.
which is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a fine policy when you look at it objectively. So, coming back to the United States, going to a bit of a happier subject, Congress. The vote for so the Republicans put forward the American Health Care Act about last week, and it's been described by various comedians as Obamacare light. It's vastly unpopular. I think that the latest poll put it at 17% of the entire country, including Republicans. But Donald Trump and Paul Ryan are really trying to put this through. Unfortunately, because it's so unpopular, they really haven't been able to get the support, and no one thinks that if they put it up for a vote, it would pass. So, the vote was actually pushed back twice. It was pushed back yesterday, and it was pushed back from today. So who knows when that vote will come up. And the vote would also repeal the Affordable Care Act, which is quite popular actually, considering how much people were complaining about it just last year. Most people around the country want it, and a lot of people were yelling at their representatives in Congress saying, "Do not repeal the Affordable Care Act." Mm-hmm. But Ryan's pushing it, Trump is pushing it, and Trump's been doing a couple underhanded things to try and get it passed. He's been threatening Republicans who will not vote for the bill, saying that they will lose their jobs, meaning that they won't be able to get the funding to run again in their districts. So they're kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if they don't get the funding, it's going to be really hard for them to run again. But if they do vote for the bill, people are going to think that their interests weren't being served by their representative, because very few people want this bill passed. I mean, looking into it, it gives a lot of tax breaks to the wealthy, and the people that are going to be hurt most by this are the sick, the poor, and the elderly, who that's kind of the point of health care. Universal health care is to be able to help them. So,
Now I have a question.
yes.
With him kind of threatening to take away their jobs, is that legal, or is that considered
No.
blackmail? So it's illegal.
It's not
It's illegal.
It's illegal. It's coercion.
Yeah.
And manipulation, which is technically not illegal, but kind of frowned upon.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is he actually used the term that they were going to get fired, because he thinks he's still on The Apprentice, even though he can't actually do that because that's not his job.
That's actually like the opposite of his job.
The opposite of his job. He
Like,
doesn't have.
where's my gavel, honestly?
Knock, knock, knock.
Overruled.
Overruled.
Yeah. But this whole it's the American Health Care Act is definitely something to keep an eye on, and I know that especially John Oliver and Trevor Noah, who I
Oh,
watch
they're gonna get
religiously, they've been really ripping this apart and saying like, Paul Ryan had 7 years to get this plan together, and
It's still in shambles.
it's like it's kind of terrible.
Yeah.
Like my favorite thing was Sean Spicer talking about it, and he had the 2 stacks of paper. The Affordable Care Act was like 3 times the size of the American Health Care Act, and he put his hands on the bigger pile and said, "This is government," and then put his hand on the American Health Care Act and said, "This is less government. Government, less government." I'm like, what does that have anything to do with anything?
Thank you, Spicy.
Oh, spicy.
I mean, Melissa's great. I love Melissa McCarthy.
She does a fantastic impression.
She really does.
What, are you telling me that Melissa McCarthy is not our press secretary?
Surprisingly, no.
Really?
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, I thought she was just acting the whole time. I thought Sean Spicer was a character that she played. Oh, goodness.
Oh, goodness.
So, moving on to the Supreme Court, still hanging out in Congress. Neil Gorsuch's confirmation hearings were this week, or 2 of them, and he just kind of went around the questions, did what most Supreme Court nominees do, tried their best not to answer it.
Here's what I'm going to tell you about. Not your question.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's every confirmation hearing. Literally every. And there's always those people who are kind of like, oh, that's not what I asked.
That's just not what I asked.
Yeah, I actually listened. The New York Times has this really, really great podcast called The Daily.
I've heard it. It's fantastic.
Oh my God, I love it.
I've not heard it, but I'm going to assume it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I listen to it as many days as possible because they do a different one every day. And they were talking about Supreme Court nomination hearings in the past, and apparently the first one was during who was it? It was either Nixon or Reagan. I think it was Reagan, and it was this guy named Bork.
Quite the name.
Bork, which I thought was really good. I loved his name first off, and what he did was he got his confirmation was denied, but basically what he did was he basically didn't get around any questions. He told the truth. He was really straightforward with his answers. He didn't try and circumvent anything. But after that, people have started going around the questions in their confirmation hearings because Bork was so honest and so candid, and he got he didn't get confirmed. So now everyone who gets nominated for Supreme Court justice is just kind of ooh, not gonna
pull a Bork.
Not gonna pull a Bork. It's actually a verb now. It's called borking, and it's that's my new favorite word.
I'm uncomfortable with that word.
Me too.
Borking, circumventing.
Nope, I don't like that.
Bork.
Where
gavel.
is my gavel?
You better pull that up and pull up the sound effects. Yeah, and then another big story was Jim Comey's hearing in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He basically said there is no evidence of Trump being wiretapped by Obama. Yeah.
I could have told him that, honestly.
Apparently there are phone calls that were collected because Trump was talking to foreign dignitaries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think that's kind of his job.
No gavel for that.
Yeah. No, but he was this is things that we do anyways, and it's not actually illegal, my friend. This is not Watergate.
How about I do anyway?
Oh my God, that's a giant meme of a video. But he also said that they were investigating. He confirmed that they are investigating ties between the Trump presidential campaign in Russia, and usually
I told you that.
Yeah,
Really?
But he confirmed it, and usually they'll be oh, we're just gonna pretend it's not happening and not say anything because that's just easier. And Secret Service and not Secret Service, but secrecy and all that stuff. But he was no, yeah, we're kind of investigating him. I'm well, I mean, that's the least you can do considering you destroyed Hillary Clinton's chances at being president by doing that. So yeah, they confirmed basically a criminal investigation into the Trump campaign, and surprise, surprise, no wiretap.
Oh, goodness me.
I mean,
I'm actually
Jim Comey's
we're gonna
interesting.
get off that for a second, but did anyone see Trump refuse to shake hands with the Chancellor of Germany?
I did not know how to handle that.
Can I tell you what the best thing was, though? The video was
mouthing, "Do you want to shake hands?" and he would not make eye contact.
He just wouldn't look at her. He pretended that he didn't hear the question. He didn't look at her. It was so
disrespectful. So
Did you
disrespectful.
It would have been funny.
Just
She probably thought she was on candid camera. Is this a joke?
She's are you going?
Where's Ashton?
Where's Ashton?
Oh my God. It was.
But that's a different discussion.
Yeah, no, but the video was very funny.
Germany, we kind of have a mess of a president.
I love you.
All right, so we are going to take a break, play some musical songs because what else do we play? And we will be right back.
Enjoy.